like it, because I think it makes this game bigger than all the rest that follow, puts a little more pressure, in fact, on you. But it's what he was used to at Michigan State. And James Franklin telling us, if you got to talk about a rivalry and convince yourself, well, it's not.
Penn State won the toss, opted to start with the football, and they will start at their own 25-yard line as Chris Blewett puts it through the back of the end zone. Saquon Barkley was back to receive the opening kickoff. He had 105 yards last week, the 6th career 100-yard rushing game, but they're going to go to the air first, and underneath intended for Mike Gesicki.
In toughness and a running ability.
Play action, swinging it wide to Deshaun Hamilton, who has a step, and a first down.
That first quarter.
Play action again. Wide open Deshaun Hamilton breaks a tackle. Penn State in business on their opening drive.
This pass and pass-happy offense from Penn State.
And now a false start will back Penn State up 5. Both teams.
Number 52, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It seems
only more run out of the quarterback, but lots more tempo for the Nittany Lions.
Now it's Saquon Barkley. And he gets back about the 5 that they lost on the penalty. McSorley on 2nd down and long. Hamilton's been busy. It'll be 3rd down.
Last week he just wanted to finish with that top end speed. He was dancing too much. This week he needs to lower that shoulder, play through.
Defense, number 52, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Now a fumbled shotgun snap. McSorley swings it to the sideline, and it's incomplete.
Made a call there to force that early snap right through the hands of McSorley.
True freshman Blake Gillikin will try and pin Pitt deep, and he will do just that. Can you execute it any better? At the 1-yard, seen the game day feature as a quarterback sneak by Nathan Peterman just to get a little breathing room for Pitt. Called it from a 6-month chemotherapy bout, and here he is up the middle. Running tacklers over. James Conner out to the 27-yard line.
Against Villanova.
The toss to Conner. And this time he is brought down at the line. Allison has more. 4 on his first carry of the day. Now up to 26 yards and 10. And a little counter end around to Quadri Olison with a flag down.
Holding, offense, number 35, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Naeem Wortman-White back inside where he began last season. Quadri Henderson with a step. Quadri Henderson across the 50.
But they think their quickness could get outside, and it did.
They're looking for quickness again. Again, it's Quadri Henderson, and he's close to another first down. That's a gain of 9, but a lane again for Conner. Still on his feet. Down the sideline to the 11. With cancer. Now he's got his team set up with a little shovel pass. Nathan Peterman. It's Orndorff. He's inside the 5 last week. He gets the call here. Stood up at about the 1. Aston scores as Conner. A 10-play touchdown drive for Charles Woodson, Matt Hasselback, Randy Moss. They'll take you right up to kickoff. It's all streaming live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN as well. Nick Scott for Penn State at the 4. Brought down at about the 18. One of the great barstool debates in this town might be who's the.
I had enough with a bad taste. We're on the 1-yard line and we don't get in, and we get in. Miss the extra point, but the thing is this, it's always good to come back to a Penn State football game.
After further review, the ruling on the field, is confirmed. First down, Pittsburgh.
That's about as strong a confirmation.
It's Quadri Olison as the lone setback. He takes the handoff. Inside the 7.
Pittsburgh.
Tony, thank you so much.
And Connor's now back out there. Wide open at the goal line. Walking in is Quadri Henderson. And it's a 2-touchdown lead for Pitt.
Better start to the first 10 minutes of this game than what you're seeing here. And on the other side for James Franklin, an absolute mess for the Nittany Lions to try to dig out of.
Pittsburgh has owned both lines of scrimmage so far. And they own a continue after the next 4 years. But boy, they need to get that contract renewed as soon as possible. Miles Sanders, true freshman from the end zone, brings it out to Adnan Virk.
Any game that they can remember anytime soon.
Can Penn State bounce back? Well, Deshaun Hamilton has been their offense so far. He got them across the 50.
To a cookie, as Tom Moore used to tell me.
Saquon Barkley. That's good for a first down.
In the building, you have got to get your best player involved.
Read option. Trace McSorley did well just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jordan Whitehead, who's probably
There's an enormous grizzly bear in the middle.
tight end screen, well designed. Gesicki hurdles a man. And that's a Penn State first down and a big play.
So his guys, especially at that second and third level, play aggressive.
Deshaun Hamilton had to reach for an inaccurate pass from Trace McSorley. And Gesicki is that X factor, Brock.
To outflank you, and his greatest strength is his speed.
McSorley swings it wide to Brandon Polk. And he breaks a tackle to get right. Incomplete. Into traffic intent. Pectoral muscle, 6 games with a back injury in 2013 and 2014. Tore his other pectoral muscle. Finally healthy last season. And has now become.
You want a testimony, it often starts with a test. And he passed one that few ever have in college football.
Olison bounces it outside and gets dragged down for a loss by.
Wins one on first down.
Play action for Nathan Peterman. He's got room to run. Gets a block. Wortman White bumps him out.
We're overwhelmed by Pitt up front.
Olison on third down. They tried to go up the middle with a trap. And Penn State wasn't fooled.
An effort you need. You have to win. You have to get on off blocks and allow your speedy linebackers, not necessarily your ends, your linebackers to close and finish.
Rushing yards so far here in the first quarter, 109-2 in favor of Pitt. John Reed might make a play on special teams. This could get Penn State back in the game. Reed down to the 15-yard line.
My line and making sure Price is accounted for.
There's the shot. And there's the flag.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14. Automatic, first down.
And just simply.
They'll run it with Barkley. They move the pile. And the Penn State offensive line shoves Barkley over the goal line. Clear leg punter. Everybody's got a field goal kicker that's 85% inside of 45 yards. In college football, you're just happy when the ball clears the line of scrimmage on special teams. How often do games for the touchdown? Bob Wischusen here with Brock Ewert, Allison Williams. In a building here at Heinz Field, Brock, where now momentum has shifted. Joey Julius with a knuckleball kick that ends up at about the 23-yard line. And
will have more hours than they know what to do with. Not nearly enough at this level.
Play action, the fake to James Conner. Well protected is Peterman. And wide open at midfield is Quadri Henderson.
Fouls on both teams. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Penn State, number 41. Offense, Pittsburgh, number 69. That's their first of the games for both players.
Parker Cothran apparently has the strength of Zeus. Turning the corner is George Aston. He's got a touchdown.
A little different picture, but they're moving people up front.
Connor this time is met by Marcus Allen.
Sign me up for rivalries as often as you can.
Wide open again is Quadri Henderson, and he's got another first down.
Moves the sticks.
Another jet sweep. This time it's Dantes Ford. That has been very effective just about every time that Pitt has run that play.
Speed of Henderson.
This time it's James Conner. He's inside the 10-yard line again. First and goal for Pitt when we start the second cavalry.
I think he was bothered when I asked him if he was the kicker.
James Conner to the 5-yard line to start off the second quarter for Pitt as they're looking to go back up by 2 scores.
Well, Johnny Majors and Tony Dorsett like this game plan. Lots of run. What 157.
Watch from last week against Villanova, already with more rushing yards against Penn State today. He's the motion man. Second down and goal. Peterman on a rollout, running out of real estate. Keeps the play alive down to about the 2-yard line. Down and goal after the injury timeout. Play action. Peterman, end zone, touchdown. Scott Orndorff, the tight end.
Peterman, the 5th-year senior, was not proud of his performance. Was not proud of how he managed the game. But he couldn't be doing any better here into the second quarter.
A 9-play, 74-yard Pitt touchdown. For Tennessee, I think, Brock, in particular, they not only want to win tonight, they want to impress after what happened to them in their opener.
Exactly right. You got to be a lot sharper. And I like to see them play with a little more confidence, a little more play to win instead of, I thought at times, a playing to lose mentality or not to lose mentality from a week ago.
Saquon Barkley from the 6. Out to the 24. And the
I think this is kind of fun. This is football 101. Old school style for Pitt.
McSorley on a rollout. He's got plenty of room to take off. And slides out across the 40-yard line as his receivers were well downfield. The ball out once again. And it's scooped up. Another Penn State turnover. Jordan White. And there goes Whitehead in motion. He'll take the handoff. Down the sideline. James Conner, and some pride shown by the Nittany Lions in the heart of that defense. No gain.
Pass over the top, and so be it. You've got to stop the run first.
Oh, they can't stop the fullback, but he gets hit at the goal line. George Aston broke the play for a Pitt touchdown before the ball came out. His second score. And Pitt adds to their lead.
To further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Just feels shocked.
Try is good. Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense, number 1. The 15-yard penalty be added on to the end of the kick.
And back in the day where these two programs were at their height, they were both simultaneously competing for national championships and top 10 rankings. That was when they played the best games between these two schools. And Penn State needs some momentum now as they're going to have to start at their own 25-yard line. Let's check today's Aflac trivia question. All right, we got to thinking with Bristol Motor Speedway host.
And we'll find that answer. Penn State's got to find answers offensively.
Saquon Barkley bounces it outside. Does a lot to lose a yard, maybe a yard.
Them out of the rhythm of what they do best.
Well, there's the Deshaun Hamilton swing pass. He uses the stiff arm. And so far, that underneath, you're going to make a mistake. 3rd down and 4. A rollout for McSorley. He's going to try and run for it, and he won't get there. Lost the football as he was going out of bounds, but was... Avonte Maddox to return the kick. And he calls for a fair catch. Lost the football! And may have gotten back on top of it. It looks like he did. How many Bob Ukers were in the stadium that day? Another end around. Again, it's Quadri Henderson. Again, he's got a first down. Penn State just cannot stop these.
This is really bad containment on that jet sweep.
Now it's Darren Hall right up the gut. Another Pitt first down. Quickly back to Adnan.
Bob, just want to let you know what's happening
for Pitt at the Penn State 43.
Great shot to take a play pass here as well.
That time a tackle for loss. Well done by Naeem Wharton and White. Backer flanked by a couple of sophomores in Manny Bowen and Jake Cooper. Play action. Peterman rolling to the sideline. Throws it away. Exactly what Penn State needs. The first incompletion for Nathan Peterman. The Tennessee transfer. 3rd down and long. Only a 4-man rush. That ball tipped and intercepted. Exactly what the Nittany Lion defense needed. Malik Golden gets the takeaway.
Stay back in the game.
And how vital is this drive for
offense? Number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
5 yards.
There's a strike for the first time to Chris Godwin. Godwin has had 4. Hand off to Barkley. Short of the first down. Makes it 3rd down and 2 midway through the 2nd quarter. Barkley is swapped under behind the line. Mike Caprera. So a 3 and out after the interception. And a fair catch made by Avonte Maddox. Penn State just can't get in.
Fellas making it go.
Connor wiggling his way across the 20-yard line and thrown back, but after a gain of 3.5, close to 4 yards. So what are the adjustments that have to be made?
In one-on-ones, you get beat outside in the passing game, you will live with that now. This run game's being pounded.
Connor has room again. James Connor to the 40. Has had a play of 20 or more yards from scrimmage, and mostly on the ground. As Quadri Olison this time gets 20-yard plays, have been running plays. As Pittsburgh has 221 rushing yards so far in the first half. A broken tackle by Quadri Henderson, but this time a much better job. Peterman, a shovel pass. And this time it was sniffed out. Scott Orndorff.
First points of this game for Penn State.
That 59-yard punt return by John Reed. It's really the only big play that Penn State has made here in the first half. That will roll down to the 17-yard line.
Ever used to South Dakota State. Both got to be better tonight.
Such an important possession before halftime for Penn State. McSorley straight back to throw. Swings one wide, and that's caught by Gesicki. But Brock, to your point, that's basic.
There's no Godwin, there's very little Barkley, and you're just taking the underneath throws.
Another throw underneath, and this one hauled in just shy. It looks like
Best Maddox down the field in that one-on-one.
3rd down and 1. Hit jumps, could be a free play. And that will give
Offside.
Penn State a first down.
Defense. Number 52. 5-yard penalty. First down.
8.
McSorley, long throw to the sideline. There's Godwin. Lowers his shoulders and delivers. And Pitt starts the third quarter with the football. So ideally, you would like to score some points, but not give their offense a chance to get back on the field. Saquon Barkley. He's got room. Saquon Barkley. Down to the 25-yard line.
Season, don't forget about Saquon Barkley.
A gain of 29 there. Barkley again. No gain on first down. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds for the Boston College alums. We appreciate that, Adnan. After that tackle by Rory Blair on the Penn State timeout, second down and 10. Wide open at the 10-yard line is Gesicki, and it's first and goal for Penn State.
Good poise there from McSorley to put it on the money.
And now a timeout called by Pitt to 4-down territory.
Avoid the negative play.
First and goal inside the 2. A jump cut and brought down at the 1-yard line is Saquon Barkley. Right back to Barkley over the pile. He's into the end zone. That's a Penn State touchdown.
Seniors on their offensive line, fifth-year senior quarterback. Penn State's still learning about a lot of young, inexperienced players in some new spots, and they learned on that drive. Their young quarterback, he's got some guts.
Now Penn State has turned it over a couple of times.
There is, and Juan Price is, and the big fella Jared is in the middle. You guys in that front four got to step up.
This will come out to the 25-yard line. And tonight, after Virginia, Oregon finish up, it is SportsCenter. Audrey Olison to about the 32-yard line. And you wonder, MCL, and developed a bad cough, night sweats. His face was swelling during his rehab process. Tests revealed the large tumor right next to his heart that was causing a vein to back the blood up that was trying to get to his heart. His face was swelling. And it turned out he had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And as mom put it on that wonderful piece on Game Day by Tom Rinaldi, it was the biggest blessing in disguise, him tearing his MCL, that we could have asked for, because that triggered the rehab and the tests to find the tumor to then cure him of cancer. And he is now not only cured, but back on the field and performing like an ACC Player of the Year that he was 2 years ago. And we've got...
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Pittsburgh, number 39. That's his first of the game. The penalty will be half the distance to the goal from the 25. First down.
That's just dumb.
And they'll start with 2 tight ends. And that same motion we saw throughout the entirety of the first half. Here's Connor. Out to about the 20, maybe the 21-yard line.
It affected them going forward, so they'll use a normal cadence from here on out.
That's interesting. Second down and 3. Connor again. And it looks like he will be stopped.
Moving people.
Peterman to throw on third down. Dumps it off. And George Aston, weapon that wasn't even on the 2 deep for Pitt.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Well, Brock, this is
Focused on it. If it's close, they're going to call it.
third down and 6.
Delay of game. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Pat Nard, it's a big get. This is a big play. And the Penn State defense stands up and gets the job done. Torrance.
Unique pressures like that one to stop them.
In traffic, making the catch, trying to get a return started was John Reed. Couldn't do it.
First.
Play action, and there it is. Deshaun Hamilton picking up about 5 on the surface.
That's the offset to it.
Second down and 4. Barkley is the target down the sideline. A little wheel route, and he is gone. That's a State touchdown.
Rub route there to get Barkley the ball.
We've been wondering, how do you get the ball? And Quadri Henderson watches the kickoff from Joey Julius. Head through the back of the end zone. Why was Saquon Barkley so?
That's no pick play and a perfectly designed against man-to-man coverage scheme to get your best playmaker going.
Play action. The rush coming. Long to the sideline and almost intercepted. Nathan Peterman employing their guys to take that away.
Not necessarily.
There's a screen. It's Connor. He's got a first down. Connor to the 40-yard line, maybe the 41. Naeem. Peterman rolls. Wide open in the flat. Nice cutback by Connor. And it looks like he has.
Outside of just between the tackles to get him involved.
Nice jump cut in the backfield. And there is his replacement from last season, Quadri Olison.
Oftentimes, big guys, when they go laterally slow down, he doesn't.
Olison gained 18, got a first down, now moves the pile for about 8 more.
Different guys touching and running the ball at them.
Connor is gang tackled, so it will be third down. 5-11 goes in to replace him, and he is the lone setback. Instead, the quarterback sneak. Peterman pushes the pile, and the officials look like they will spot it right
of your opponent.
Spinning at the 20-yard line is Darren Hall. Stays in bounds inside the 5. First and goal for Pittsburgh. Going fast. Once again, it's Darren Hall. At the goal line. Touchdown. Loud.
After further review, the runner's knee was down prior to him crossing the goal line. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line. Second down.
It's James Conner now, the lone setback. He takes the handoff, and he's into the end zone. That's a Pitt touchdown.
Play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Pittsburgh, number 78. It's his first of the game. The 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
State offense has looked like a different group since late in the second quarter.
The only foul is offside. Defense, number 1. Half the distance to the goal. Retry.
9-yard touchdown drive in this game, all with the running game.
And what will Penn State, especially defensively, have left in the tank on what has become a really hot, humid day?
Now the pressure back on the Penn State offense. They need a...
As the 4th most Hall of Famers of any FBS school out there. 4th most.
Incredible. Miles Sanders, good field position at the least for Penn State after that penalty, as they will start offensively near midfield. That is the importance of that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
And what looks like a little man-to-man coverage now from Pitt.
Now they've got Mark Allen in a tailback. He sneaks out of the backfield and is open and picks up 3. Right to midfield.
Right head does. And I like this concept. Your tempo wasn't working, so get to the best play available.
Little draw play up the middle. Tyreek Jarrett there for Pitt. Has completed his last 9 in a row.
And that's exactly what he is looking at. Good move here from Joe Moorhead. Yet another adjustment in the second half to take your time to get your protection and get to the right call.
McSorley almost hit, and then on a deflection, it ends up in Godwin's hands.
At 42-21, and instead, with the tip and the focus from Godwin, you actually get your, like you said, Bob, your first third down conversion of the game.
McSorley steps up, floats one down the seam, and it's incomplete. as he had Saquon Barkley leaking
on the field.
Replaced at least for the moment by a redshirt freshman, Jawan Johnson, at the top of your screen. Long throw outside the numbers to Deshaun Hamilton.
Barkley's basket lead.
Close to the
Young signal caller.
Saquon Barkley open with blockers in front. Gets to the marker. Down the sideline. A flag down.
Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Third down.
Did Barkley get the first down before? Barkley with a spin. And now what do you do? He lost the football as he went to the ground. They'll say it's a fumble. Us, this is not a rivalry game, as that looks like it will be an illegal shift on that play.
Offense, more than one player moving prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They've just been critical.
To James Conner. He's got 6 as we check in with Allison.
Pat Narduzzi went over to his
12th career 100-yard game already for James Conner. A roll for Peterman to the sideline, incomplete. Third down and long. It'll be third. 3-man rush on third down, and the pocket still collapses. Peterman gets out, and they lose the quarterback. All the way down to the Penn State 34-yard line. Brandon Bell of
Things covered. You find a way to get it done.
Conner up the middle. 5 more. I can only imagine. And he's out the gate for 30 yards. Quarterback draw this time, and that is diagnosed by Torrance Brown. So it's another third down.
Really a 50-yard field goal.
A shovel pass, and that time Orndorff is immediately dropped. Now
Penn State's going to attempt to block it.
no chance. Some momentum back to Penn State side. And at Bristol Motor Speedway in our primetime game against Virginia Tech. After the missed field goal, pretty good field position for Penn State. Play action for Trace McSorley. He gets out of the pocket. Throws it away.
To check with me and get to the right play.
Blitz coming. Gesicki blown up out on the edge by Avonte Maddox. Forward progress for maybe a yard or two, but it's now third down and long for Penn State. Five seconds to go in the quarter. They get the snap off. Blitz coming again. McSorley, long throw, and he's got it. That time the blitz was picked up, and DeAndre Tompkins. McSorley, counter handoff. Saquon Barkley gets outside, turns the corner. He is powerful and combines that with play action. McSorley, he's looking for the end zone. Hauled in! What a catch by DeAndre Tompkins at the 2-yard line. Over
Down the field.
At the further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Reception, first down.
Saquon Barkley. Short of the goal line.
And all the while, you're quarterback.
Barkley again, up the middle, into the end zone for a Penn State touchdown. And the Nittany Lions have cut the lead down to 1 score again. And how much does special teams, Brock, continue to impact this game? Joey Julius set to send it deep. Rodri Henderson brought one back for a touchdown last week, as well as in the bowl game last year to end the season. But great kick coverage here by Penn State. They corral him in ball practice. And a flag down
Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, watching that James Conner feature on game day today.
Rushing yards as a team is one you want to continue to enforce your will and play to all those run plays earlier.
Lost the football, though. Conner coughs it up, and it looks like Penn State's got it. John Reed had the game-changing play in the first half. With a
First down.
And you can see the Penn State white dotted throughout Heinz Field.
tough area of the field to call plays. Compressed here, 1st and 10 at the 11. Quarterback draw. McSorley for a yard. Can hold to a field goal here. That would be just about as much of a momentum swing.
Weapon in the red zone, Trusicki.
McSorley on the slant right, intended for Deshaun Hamilton. Pit sideline. Pat Narduzzi wants a timeout on the defensive side of the ball and gets it before the snap. 10-yard line in a one-score game. Pitt brings a blitz. McSorley under pressure and goes down.
Gets an opportunity in Davis.
From 38. Got it. So Tyler Davis stays perfect. 11 for 11. Very dangerous return man. Still Pitt with a 4-point lead. Back at the goal line. And Joey Julius can't put this one in the end zone. Returnable. Henderson's got a lane. He's got a step. He returned one to end last season in the bowl game for a touchdown. He returned one on opening day against Villanova for a touchdown. And he brings it down to the 11-yard line here.
Henderson makes him pay.
Counter handoff, this time trying to turn the corner, and that time it is red as George Aston had nowhere to go. The Penn State defense.
Don't repeat mistakes.
Now it's Conner. Gain of a yard. And is it Pat?
Scenarios.
Shovel pass. At the 5. It's James Conner. Walks into the end zone with a touchdown. What a call. And Pitt extends their lead. Third down and goal from the 12-yard line. Becomes a touchdown for Pitt. What a blow to Penn State. And it's an 11-point lead as we check in with Adnan.
All right. Of time you have and the ease with which you have scored here in the second half and ending the first half. Should be no panic.
Nick Scott from the goal line. Pretty good return out to about the 28-yard line. Scores again. Counter to Saquon Barkley. And weaves his way for about 2 yards. 3. I guess pretty good decision.
Don't short him. 495, 7 reps. That's a 600+ pound squat.
I don't even know what you're talking about. 2nd down and 8. Dropped. DeAndre Tompkins went to look to turn up. Only a 4-man rush. McSorley brought down. The 4-man rush got there. And it's Shakir, the quarterback at this level.
And it's what comes in 3rd and extra long situations against Pitt.
Avonte Maddox will let this one bounce behind him and give up a lot of yards. Well, if there was one way for that to work out for Penn State, it would be
Difference maker, and that's what he's been today.
Well, they give it to him here. He is up to 40 career touchdowns, second only to Donnie Dorsett in Pitt history, who had 63. But again, James Conner is just beginning his redshirt junior year. So he's well on his way, at least on pace, to breaking that record.
And this is what you want to maximize right now. You're thinking 2 first downs and maximizing every part of that play clock. 2, 3, 4, 6 minutes of this clock, but you've got to get this first down in the shadows of your own goalpost.
Penn State has to be desperate for a 3-and-out here to preserve time and get field position back on their side. They're going to sell out to try and stop the run and do a pretty good job of it. A gain of only a yard sets up 3rd down and long as Marcus Allen on the tackle. Let's check in with Allison.
It's some of that sense of belief that Narduzzi talked about.
3rd down and long here. A rollout for Peterman. Being chased, tucks it under, gets to the sideline, but nowhere near the first down, and that's is a line drive, returnable for John Reed. He's going to head east-west, does not get a block, and he goes down. Bam Bradley makes the stop on special teams. What a big play by the back. Think that this drive must end in points of some sort. Saquon Barkley gets to the edge, runs a man over, and he's close to a first down. It looks like they will give him the. Here comes the blitz. McSorley finds a man wide open, Jawan Johnson. His first career catch down to the 21-yard.
And McSorley makes him pay.
Play action. Deshaun Hamilton had to reach back for an errant throw and couldn't haul it in. Back to Jawan Johnson, though, for a moment. He's only on the field because Chris Godwin limped off. Long throw to Hamilton. Ways out inside the 5. Saquon Barkley. Down to the 2-yard line. Shakir Soto got him around the ankles. 2nd down and goal, and Penn State still needs to operate with a. Barkley again. He'll try it again, and this time he's in. That's a Penn State touchdown. And once again, the Nittany Lions have made it a 1-score game. If you get the football back, if you're Penn State, rests on this play. Back of the end zone, Deshaun Hamilton has it after a great ball fake by Trace McSorley. The 2-point conversion is good. Audrey Henderson. And he will. Well, if you're Pitt. Peterman dodging tacklers, and the quarterback picks up about 4 yards. Torrance Brown, 6 after the timeout. They'll run it with Connor. Only a yard. And once again, James Franklin will call timeout before 3rd down and 4. On Monday, they'll throw. Peterman swings one to Connor, and he is met and dropped. Malik Golden comes up and gets the 3rd down stop. Winslow's punt. Fielded by Reed at the 24. Breaks a tackle, gets a block. John Reed to the sideline, out of bounds at the 30. Good field position. Long way to run on only a 6-yard return. And Brock, how many different swings of emotion and momentum have we had?
Going to a shell, and he did not. He has really grown as this game has moved along.
A touchdown to tie, and plenty of time. And Saquon Barkley, crab crawling his way for a first down.
Schedule, they moved it at will.
Barkley replaced by Andre Robinson, and Robinson for about 4 yards. Not sure if that was a contact lens problem for Barkley, maybe a poke in the eye as he is heading
into a 3rd down opportunity.
Play action for McSorley. He wants the home run for Deshaun Hamilton, and he drops it.
Time and Deshaun couldn't finish.
It wasn't a negative play, but do you see a blitz coming here?
I sure do. But that's in your nature, and you've had success.
5-man rush. McSorley rolls right into the sack and lost the football, but it's recovered by Penn State. Timeouts already. Compelled to go for it on 4th and 16. And they rush 4. McSorley looking for the home run ball, and it's Stroud. He's got it to DeAndre Tompkins, who was wide open on 4th and 16. Unbelievable. Barkley stood up about a yard shy of what is the comfort zone for Tyler Davis to kick potentially a game-tying field goal. So he's warming up on the sideline. Now, they're going for the end zone. It's a jump ball. Intercepted by Ryan Lewis.
Him a shot. And Ryan Lewis delivers in the end zone.
At this point, partner, if they eventually renew this contract past the next 4 years,